Hello, hello, my love bugs, my honey bunnies, my boobalas. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty, episode 306. And in today's video, I'm continuing with populating my 58 or more video series playlist by reading aloud a translation from the Russian to the Arabic to the English of Hacking the Technogenic System by Vadim Zalem, who brought Transurfing to our universe. We hope that Vadim translates his book to English very soon, but until he does that, we will talk about it in English from other translations with the personal efforts of my good friends Moheel, Jawad, and Teodora Salvia, who took it upon themselves to take on this enormous task of sharing its wealth of knowledge, particularly during this time in our human history. So I'm doing my part to share this invaluable information that can be integrated into knowledge and further integrated into wisdom by reading these chapters aloud. So grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and allow me to read to you chapter 16 of Hacking the Technogenic System. This chapter entitled Transurfing or Trans Grecia. Transurfing or Trans Grecia. Trans Grecia is a complex Greek word that means crossing from the possible to impossible. And the other meaning is the flow. Most of the time, I receive messages about the great joy that Transurfing has done its job, about specific events that reports what happened and why the result is this way. The messages are very few. This shows us that there's a kind of confusion among people between controlling reality and managing it intentionally and the phenomenon of synchronicity when something calls for attention and then appears in reality in a miraculous way. If you have noticed, the first time that an automatic connection appeared between your thoughts and reality, that this surprised you, this does not mean that transurfing has begun to work. To be more precise, it works, but now it works automatically and completely independently of your will. The truth is, this is not transurfing, but an out-of-control sync or phenomenon, and all you can do here is watch and be amazed. In order to start directing this process, that is, in order to learn how to manage it for yourself by means of advanced planning, ready-made oddities that raise your wondering and surprise, you must, in this case, as we mentioned before, reconsider your way of thinking and reconnect the scheme that you stored in your head, but in a way that you convert the passive receiver into a transmitter, meaning you turn into a broadcasting system for your intentions and goals. The following question might arise: how long should the transmission last? Should it be repeated often? A question like this is nothing different from your question about the number of paddling times in a boat in order to keep the boat route on a steady path and not shifting. If you let go of the oars, the current of external conditions will control the situation, and you have nothing to do with the emergence of these external conditions. Also, at this moment, you will notice that your life has become dependent on scenarios and phenomena that follow another reality, not yours, and your oars will fall into the hands of your roadmates who are more energetic and active than you. This is the reality. Therefore, you must, as a necessity, work without boredom to broadcast the image of your reality to the outside world, either directly or by communicating with others through the smartphone system. Even if you are resting, hiking, reading, or if you watch other people's shows or listen to their programs, your movie or radio broadcast should not stop. It is the face of your world, so decorate it however you like. Whatever's happening in reality, you must be consistent in your position and not be complacent. And remember the words of the song that says, the sky is orange and the sea is orange. Plants are orange and camels are orange. Mothers are orange. To orange children, orange songs are performed by an orange orchestra. And you guys are going to have, for example, orange cops, orange employees, managers, orange fools, orange roads, orange difficulties, and everything will be orange. Imagine how fun that would be. And no matter how dark and dusky your clouds are, you must always remember that there is a clear blue sky above these clouds, or an orange sky if you like this more. Okay, but this sounds like a juggler's illustration, and it's simplified. In principle, whatever information reaches you, it could be related to your inner world or to things like this that are there. And if at that time you are on the transmission system, the incoming broadcaster's information will be converted into links. And at the same time, your intent announcements will be launched. When you see other people's pictures, set for yourself a goal of capturing their bonds, and then at the same time, you should show your own film. That is, send the intention of your orange world over the air. Tell yourself, everything they have is great, and for me, everything is orange. In that world, there are some dilemmas, but my world is devoid of them. These people have bound in some framework, live bound in some framework, but I do not know anything about this. Bright characters make masterpieces, create masterpieces, and I can create something too. They are distinguished by splendor, strength, and courage. And I also possess virtues of my own. Move away. I will not allow you to enter my world because it is mine alone. Then aggregate all incoming information into one common factor serving your goal achievement. If you have a strong desire to own a home, for example, then you have to constantly broadcast the following program. This is my home and I live in it. And when you see any homes in reality, in the cinema or on television, compare them with the house you want to own. Are there similarities, or is this the house, or is the house you want different? Then immediately draw a picture of your home in your mind. And when you see in the advertising programs or in the commercial stores anything that the house may need, then choose them for your home, even if you are only still doing the survey. And if you were to see all of the corners of the earth, imagine where you would have liked to live if you were given the choice. Color this whole world in the colors of your dreams. Do this thing very seriously, and do not give any attention to that uncle who tells you, as the song says, it does not happen like this because this does not happen to him, and but you will have what you wanted. Okay. It may seem to some people that staying in this transmission system is nerve-wracking and exhausting work, and it may even be an unnecessary and absurd job after all. But it is self-evident that everything here is related to the existence of a purpose in life and provides the strength of desire to achieve it. As for fatigue, the issue here is a matter of habit, because once it becomes a daily habit, the person gets used to it and he doesn't get nervous anymore. And you can readapt your thinking to the transmission system, starting with the simplest idea. Now, in transurfing, there is a very powerful principle, but at the same time, it is very simple, which is the principle of intention coordination. And we are now reminding you to activate the memory. If you look positively at an event that you think is negative, then at that time, everything will be precisely this way. Do not forget that no matter how bad the situation is now, there's a happy surprise of some kind awaiting you in the future, provided that you maintain now and at this moment the balance of things. Why is it happening this way exactly? Always remember that human life is like any other form of movement of matter. It is a series of cause and effects. In the space of variations, the outcome is always close to its cause, one emerging from the other. The continuous sectors of space line the path of life. And every event on the path of life has two paths, a path that leads to what is appropriate and a path that leads to what is not appropriate. Every time when you encounter this or that event, you have to choose the situation that defines that event. If you see this event as a positive event, then you are on the appropriate life path. The negative bias force you to express your discontent and choose the inappropriate path. When something bothers you, a new ugly dilemma comes after. This is what happens always, because the problems do not come alone. A sequence of ugly things does not follow the problem itself, but rather the position you take on it. It is a choice that I make while I am at the crossroads of both paths that shape natural determination. The principle of intention coordination allows you to always stand in the easy and right path of life. Now, the reader may ask, why do I repeat what he already knows? I repeat it because there is a deep gap between knowledge and action. Okay. I am sure that you know the principle of intention coordination for sure, but you do not apply it, right? This is not part of your daily habits. And if you would follow the principle, you would not face the great obstacles that you write about so much in your letters to me. Even though you know and understand everything, you still keep the same habits. You respond to everything negative and interact in a negative way because this is what you are used to, and this is the automatic habit that you practice without awareness. And this directs your reality, not your conscious intentions. Direct your reality. Now, we can summarize the rest of this chapter through the following points. Number 1, there is a perfect example of this confusion that resembles the phenomenon déjà vu in Sidirsky and Prevalov's book, Eye on the Renaissance of the Modern Age. The author here talks about Trans Grecia, from one life to another, and says, on a beautiful morning, the employee in scientific research wakes up in one of the closed institutions in Siberia to find himself in another reality. And in this other reality, he's married to a woman he knows and does not know, and works in a completely different field and knows it and does not know it. This TransGrecia was feeling a clear and very obvious feeling as if he was embodying the same body, and at the same time, it lived 2 absolutely different lives. The employee knew the location of the secret corporation very accurately and went to Siberia, but found nothing at that specific place. Carlos Castaneda also speaks of a similar situation when he jumped to the bottom of a gap and then woke up to find himself in the apartment that he lives in New York. In fact, what happened is something like an agglutination. In principle, he should have been smashed, but in fact, he jumped from one reality to another and found himself alive in the other path. I do not take responsibility and I do not judge what is stated in these books, if that's the case or not. But in life, there are quite a few amazing evidence of movement through time and space. Reality always eludes and does not give accurate answers, such as, it happened or not, how and why. There is one thing, and there is no doubt about its validity. Trans Grecia is a transition between certain paths in life, whether near or far, is in fact what is happening here. It always happens to us every time when we make any decision, when we are at the crossroads of paths. Number 2, in my own life, something similar has happened, and this is a story from distant memories. Did you forget your gloves at my place? Or more precisely, did you forget them? And did you leave the gloves on purpose in order to come back again? I have a strange feeling that something happened between us, but I'm not sure if this thing happened in a dream or in waking life. The day before, a small chance had happened in my house. Our fun group got together. I remember that me and you, we went out to the balcony to smoke, and there was no one there but us. Suddenly, without introduction, we started kissing each other with passion, but what a shame. I drank so much that night, and the next day I was unable to discern between reality and dream. When we met, I looked at you with a stranger's look, and at the same time, I could not determine, based on your behavior, did anything happen between us? Or was that a product of my imagination? That is why I asked you. You forgot your gloves at my place. You may know? Maybe. She answered and looked at me, a look that seemed strange to me. I do not understand anything, and I cannot say it honestly, because from the first time, I did not understand anything. And also, you do not say anything. Something might or might not have happened. What a dilemma. I shouldn't drink so much next time. When the effect of drunkenness was gone, I woke up completely. Another scene, a raw scene this time, jumped into my memory. We are now in the hallway and kissing again, and we are both crazy and wild, and you are usually calm and balanced. You take off your shoes while you get wild and try to rip my shirt. I don't remember anything after that, and again, I fall into the void. It is a dilemma, and did this thing happen or not? Absolutely not, and I should drink less. 2 days have passed, and you haven't come to take your gloves. Does this mean that you forgot them and did not leave the gloves on purpose? And that all happened in a dream? It's stupid in a sense. So what? You have your reality and I have another. I never thought about this, nor did I think about the sin of cheating. So why? I'm going on a mission, and there I'm going to dive into various problems. The deja vu retreats to the back seat. Back home, your gloves have disappeared and are not present in my house. It's over. Everything turns out. It's clear now. It's a closed vortex. Only now I do understand how this could happen. Transgrecia occurred on the path that leads to something that have actually happened, and a sequence occurred on the other track in which nothing happened, neither before nor after. The agglutination happened at the intersection. And the moment I ran away, it was like nothing ever happened, but I was not able to catch reality in the act. I didn't know where the gloves were hidden and how. What can I say here? Why am I saying all this? Deja vu is a phenomenon that does not yield and occurs like an unrealized dream. As long as we make critical decisions at the crossroads unconsciously, as if we are in a state of delirium and in the same stupid way, interacting with small things and the troubles of daily life, our condition will remain like an incontinent Transgression, and thus it will be separated and put on paths of failure in life. But if we become accustomed to adhering to the principle of intention, coordination in every event and every situation, then our lives will start to catch the waves of success. And at that moment, this will be transurfing, not Transgrecia. Number 3, the beauty of the intention coordination principle is that it actually fixes the warp in a perfect way. And it's time you no longer need to work on decorating your world. For example, you want something to be fine and as it should be, but you do not know how everything would be fine and how it should be. Well, no problem. And you don't have a headache for this. And you don't have to get a headache for this. When you see that something is not going the way you want, you simply have to go back to being alert and consciously turning the dilemma into satisfaction. You should have your own ways of responding to such situations. Number 4, okay, let's see which one of the happy events comes next. Oh, how happy am I? And a pleasant surprise awaits. We will see. Oh, success, really. A happy event has happened. The joy I got, what wonderful coincidence made these circumstances all intersect. What a golden opportunity. Yes, it's my luck. It is my world that kept me away from the dilemmas and big ones. Uh-oh, happiness. If everything is fine, I await, and congratulations. You have to launch false shouts of joy, and these are all between you and yourself or in an audible voice, and there's no difference here. Every time you find yourself in trouble, no matter how small, or when something collapses in some way, the scenario that you set, learn to rejoice in bad weather, long lines, obstacles before you, obstacles that come your way, and anything negative. Masochism, like this, gradually cleanses the sky of your world. You just have to think about the benefit that can derive from this or that state of depression. This is what will happen, and you will be sure of this thing, and you will see it for yourself more than once. In the beginning, you just have to make some effort to turn the intention coordination principle into a habit and part of the ego, and in time, everything will be as it should be. It is only a matter of willpower. And when you achieve this, you are the first to take the road to switching from receiver to a transmitter. Number 5, do not confuse the premeditative and precognitive control of reality with the phenomenon of synchronicity. Number 6, if an automatic connection develops between your thoughts and reality, this does not mean that the transurfing is working. Number 7, in order to start controlling this process, you have to reconsider your way of thinking so that the passive receiver turns into a broadcaster and moves to work on the system of transmitting your intention. Number 8, you have to always work without getting bored to broadcast your reality image to the outside world directly or via the smartphone system. Number 9, no matter how dark the clouds are, you should always remember that there is a clear blue sky above them. Number 10, when you watch other people's shows, set a goal for yourself to capture their bonds and then at the same time show your own movie, your intention, or the picture of your orange world. Number 11, gather all the information included in one framework that serves your goal. Number 12, you can readapt your mindset to the transmission system, starting with the principle of intention coordination. Number 13, if you look positively at an event, you might think it is negative, then everything will be according to how you looked at it. Number 14, Trans Grecia is always taking place, and every time we make a decision, we are at the crossroads. Number 15, get in the habit of enjoying bad weather, the long lines, the obstacles you face, the difficulties that come your way, and everything negative. For information only, you can listen to a complete recording of the Orange song in its original form on Lara Lotus and Drakushka Haifeng's blog. Transurfing in Practice will have the link below. It was the child Elma Suhadze that performed the song for the first time in 40 years when she was only 8 years old. It was then resung over and over again, and it's clear that they did not do this in vain because it contains all the essence of transurfing. The lyrics of the song were written by Gregory Gorin and Arkady Akenov, and the music was set by Konstantin Presner. Everything is fun and very fun, orange and very orange. Okay, my loves, that is my speech. I hope you enjoyed my reading of chapter 16, Trans Grecia, Transurfing. Next chapter read is entitled, yes, Childhood Impression. Please help me grow my channel by giving this video a thumbs up and leaving a comment in the comments box below or in private. Please share this video with your communities, friends, family members, and on social media platforms you feel would benefit from this content. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, selecting the all settings so that the YouTube will let you know when I upload next. And you find value, enjoyed, benefit, or at least entertained from my content and videos, won't you please consider supporting my work through a donation? My PayPal link is right below, or you can also support my work by buying me the proverbial cup of coffee, so to speak, on my coffee.com//Takini link. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me, with your participation and your focused attention. I really do appreciate it. I cannot do this without you, and I do this for those of you, knowing you are so much more than what the matrix defines you to be. So until next time, my dear hearts, always act from love outside of the matrix, from your center screen, composing a new reality, quantum jumping, transurfing all your lifelines so you can be the love that you are. You can share your life, love, create, make art, make music, make love, and you can all help me repopulate the true quantum field creation field universe. Here's to love, truth, and beauty, my waking gods and goddesses. Mwah!